we decided to start with education, because I think education is one of the most non-disruptive, not really non-disruptive. I would say it's not very receptive when it comes to cutting edge trends. And so, like, I think this is an interesting space to just see how can things like AI impact, and how would AI impact, the operations of an institution, a school, a college, what is it? I mean, when we were growing up, or we all wanted to go to Harvard and MIT, and I think it's two things probably. Yes, the education there is good, but still I think they were well marketed institutions. I think we still got quality education wherever we went to college, but that's just the thing. I still, like, for example, in our country, we have great institutions which I'm pretty sure people don't know about. Even me, some I don't know about. So how can we? So when we say the biggest lie schools have been told is that if you provide good education, parents will come, right? But at the end of the day, you need attention. And this is one of the areas where AI, is able to facilitate. But anyway, let's dive into it. I know AI can just impact many other, functions operatively. Like, but let's just look at this one specific function, which is how can you use AI to position your brand, your school as a brand that people want to be associated with. At the end of the day, a school is a business and wants to make money. So education has changed, marketing hasn't. How do schools really market? It's referral, word of mouth, it's banner at the gate, it's a Facebook post here and there. They're very active when results come out, when people are graduating for colleges. So, and then, it's not very, there's nothing people are talking about these other times, right? It's not trendy. So education is not trendy, but I think in the internet age, you want to be trendy. You want people to be talked about online. People want to know. You want to be on top of the mind. So you're not really competing for students. You are competing for attention, even as a school. So you don't want to just be another school, because beyond doing great sports facilities, great academic facilities, you still need people to know about them, and people need to talk about them. So the real constraint is not really budget; it's production capacity. What schools have? Let's just say it is. Every school knows what it wants to say. The ideas are there. The vision is very clear. There's no school that doesn't have a vision and mission, but we have a lot of startups that don't have vision and mission. They just had an idea and just started executing, right? So the bottleneck is actually execution, but schools are some of the most of institutions that have very clear, clarity of where they want to take people, basically. And I think those are visions that need to be, told loudly and proudly. So, but the interesting part is these schools have like 7 departments, which you would say fall under, and which are being done unknowingly. Some parent communication, we have admissions, we have design, we need a flyer because there is an open day and parents need, you have that class teacher and their WhatsApp group, and then you have social media being done here and there in a scattered way, right? So it's just departments that are not even very well defined, because anyway, we want to focus on just the books and the academics. So the strange part is none of these departments exist officially. And most of the time it's one person existing as 7 departments. And I think having all of us having gone through school, I think we know this. This is the reality on the ground. I think we all saw it, but maybe we were too young to just see it that way. So, and of course, this creates invisible tax, which is who do we go to when we want our website updated, when we need a flyer, when we need, our social media to be creative, to capture, to just tell our story in a way that people want to listen. Who writes the emails? It's a whole set of things that, at the end of the day, they are eating. It's a bottleneck to getting our objectives, which is we want the school to grow. We want more admissions. We want the school to grow. It started as a kindergarten. We want it to go to a preparatory. We want it to be a high school. It can have a college. That's the whole goal. But I don't think we see schools as products that need to scale. But what we are saying is we have leverage in AI where you don't need more headcount because budget is always and capacity anyway. Who is this expert who needs to do this? Those are always nuances that need to be handled first before we say, oh, we got this. We can actually do it, So, and that's the thing is, whichever industry, whether it's education, whether it's real estate, whether it's us who are in marketing and advertising, media, whether it's, hospitality, at the end of the day, AI is amplifying our capabilities and making us now be able to remove the bottlenecks that were there. And because the resources is not really a constraint as such, because some of these things now can be done affordably. You get so that's really the paradigm that we need to start embracing. So the schools that win will actually think differently. It's not who can we hire, it's what department are we missing. So recently I had this epiphany that, it's how IT was never a thing until now. IT grew into now we must have an IT department. I think where we are headed now with AI is right. We will have an AI department, and then we will ask, how is it impacting, our marketing processes? How is it impacting us being efficient operationally? How can we do our accounts accurately using it and faster? How can we our supply chain handle our suppliers well? Like, it just everything. How can we predict the things that we need as a school and all that? But this just applying in every other industry. But today we are just looking at schools. Education is a case study. But this is a school of thought we will be applying, moving, as we are handling every other industry out there. So imagine you're a school and you have a designer that never sleeps. And like a school, there's just a lot of things up. You have break time, you have evening, there's prep, there's all these things. You want to tell all those stories, experiences of being part of that. There's game time, there's how do you capture all these things, and then how do you tell the stories? How do you copyright in an interesting way? How do you design in an interesting way and capture the attention of people? That's what. So you want a designer that never sleeps. You want a copywriter available in seconds. Website developer on demand who can update the website as things are happening. And a social media manager who is working daily. Not just 6 functions which are given to the administrator or to the receptionist who has to do everything, and probably it's not even an area they are very conversant with. So whether you're a small school or even a big school, this is necessary. And I think the one who has biggest privilege is a small school, because I don't think they had access to these capabilities previously. So today we want to view using AI more as a department rather than it's just a tool I'm using to create assets like a flyer or a website or a social post. How can we take it as a department that can impact now, the marketing department? It can impact any other department. For us, we are helping people figure out how AI can impact their department. So that's our area we are keen on, but it could be any other department anyway. So we will see how we can, one person is able, to just do all these things in a department, and how they can be enabled without having to be upskilled, reskilled so much. Those are just the capabilities that now AI gives us. So, and at Dovesha, that's we live to help organizations, institutions, and businesses to see this new paradigm is for what it is, and that it can impact them. Like one of our clients who is using Dovesha, started their pages from zero, so they've been using it to create their posts and whatever. It's an industrial product, and then they're like, their friends are calling like, "Hey, you guys, your online posts look really nice. Who is helping you do them?" And it was very interesting when they were telling us the story today, and we were like, "Oh wow, we didn't know it's this impactful and looking nice." So yeah. So this is a reality on the ground, and I mean it's just embracing it and taking the advantage of it. The ones who are taking advantage are getting ahead, because even told us there are just a lot of inquiry. People see the posts, so that's the reality on the ground. This is the advantage is there, and we're seeing it practically. So anyway, we will see what today we will pick a school. Lawrence will, I know, has these prepared. So let's try to position a school online using AI, and let's see how it comes out. So Lawrence, I think I will hand over to you, and Duncan.